Basilia down! There's more, lots more!
Folks, in case you are deaf, dumb, blind, or just because you're watching this show, let's assume poor, this is not the show where it's wrestling with your conscience. It's not the show where you're wrestling with your budget. This is wrestling with emotion, and my name is Slick L Bebe, and we got a main event on tap for Saturday night. We're throwing it back a little to Rob's Collie. So let's get the crew in here while we can. Rob Ryan, the Prophet, Maniac himself, and Mr. Jake Micah, your friend, our friend. Folks, how we doing? Taking it back.
Am I fucking crazy or just call our listeners poor?
It's gimmick.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
It's gimmick.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. I guess if you're being heel turn. But no, this is a big time face event. Saturday night main event. Coming back for the first time, in 16-ish years here? I know they probably mentioned it in the broadcast, but it's exciting. Triple H era, WWE is doing a lot of things right. I don't expect this to be any different.
Prophet, your Collie. How are we feeling about that?
Oh my God. You got to love the memories that have been made in the barn, and more memories will be made tonight when Saturday night's main event returns to the great, as MJF says, the most magical place on earth.
It is the most magical place on earth. Is Micah with us, or is he struggling to find the main event?
Mike is trying to dial Paul Heyman right now. He doesn't have the wise man's number, but Slick, does any match have your number tonight outside of the main event? Obviously, you got Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, but the other four, any of the other ones sticking out?
Yeah, for sure. I think I was just looking at this card layout beforehand, and really good matches. Sticking out to me right off the rip is this triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor obviously could be pretty unpredictable there. And then I really love this Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre matchup. I think that's going to be a great match. And we could see a lot of fuckery with that one, I think, as well. He's back. Micah, main event thoughts.
He's not back. He's faking.
Oh my God!
That's not
just bring anyone on the screen.
That's a picture of Sting.
Exactly, no pop.
All right, but with that said, before we get into the matches, the other exciting thing in the wild card for main event, making his return to WWE programming, Jesse the Body Ventura. Now I don't know what to expect because he was dealing heat back in the day when he was with WWE into the 90s, but he comes back on. I think it was Michael K show a day or two ago, and he's talking shit about Mad Dog Rousseau. Did you see this?
No.
So Chris Mad Dog Rousseau is on ESPN now, and he's talking with Stephen A. Smith. And I guess there was an older WWF character that used to go by the name of Mad Dog, and so Jesse the Body Ventura was taking big time offense to it, and he was basically shit talking Chris Mad Dog Rousseau. And he said if he ever saw him, he was gonna put him like into the ground. Like, it was crazy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and everybody else is just like, oh, okay, Jesse Ventura. So I don't know. Is he going to be bringing that heat to Saturday main event? Because that might make this a can't miss broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, he is 73. We had to look up before the broadcast, so I find it hard to believe he'd be putting anyone in the ground these days, especially.
And he's only on
Mad Dog.
And he's only on for the main event supposedly, so he's not calling the whole show. So he's limited.
But the whole show is the main event, so technically
the main event of the main event.
Loophole right there.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, Slick, for pointing that out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and Rob, you said rumors that Pat might be back tonight as well?
Supposedly, yes. Supposedly, Pat's making his return, and Joe Tessitore is going to be making his prime time debut.
You know, Triple H loves to kick off shows with Pat McAfee entrance, return unannounced.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be surprised.
No way!
No college ball today except for the Army-Navy game. So
yeah.
It makes sense. And right around the corner, we have Netflix. Before we get into these main events matches as well, I want to touch on the Ulafalu Tribal Combat being announced for January 6th on Netflix. We were talking before the show. Solo kind of just stole this Ulafalu, and now he can say that it's up for grabs in a match. Doesn't make too much sense. But either way, what a banger for the Netflix debut for WWE.
First off, going to shout out our good guy Straw. Did you guys know that Raw is going to Netflix? Because I didn't. But second, I think it's great. Like Paul Heyman said after WrestleMania, winning has rewards, losing has consequences. Solo decided to become the tribal chief, and now Roman's going to have to win it back from him. And what a banger to start off the year and the Netflix debut, though. And who knows what else we could see that. It's still a couple weeks away. Who knows who else is going to show up?
Are we still in the top of the third here?
Oh man,
there's a lot of ball left.
A lot
There's
of
so much ball left. It's
Speaking
insane.
of ball, some guy that knows ball. Let's see if he's working now. Yeah, Jake White.
Yeah.
How we doing? Yeah,
Great. How are you? How are your vibes on this main event Saturday?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm so excited that Saturday night's main event is back. WWE on NBC is just rolls off the tongue. Like it feels like a big opportunity tonight, make a big impression. So I'm expecting some big stuff tonight. We'll get into it the whole card, but I'm really excited.
First time in my lifetime, I think I'm going to be watching WWE on NBC.
Did you not watch the original one? Did you guys? I remember watching. Well, not the original, like back in the 80s, but like 08 and 09, I think they had one, and it was like it wasn't like it was kind of like a big house show, is what more it felt.
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that's what I
wasn't
thought.
like Tribute on the Troops like on NBC a couple of years as well.
Yeah,
you might be right. Actually, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely did watch those. But Micah, we were just talking before we get into the matches a little bit about this tribal combat set to take place for the Netflix debut for the Ulafalu Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. I mean, what a way to kick off, starting off on Netflix. And as Rob the Prophet just pointed out, Maniac, we could be seeing the real tribal chief enter, the final boss at the end of the night.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it a case where everybody thinks Roman's just gonna, finally take down Solo, get the Ulafalu back, or is that when Dwayne pops his head in, interferes on behalf of, Solo, or maybe his own, maybe he just takes it himself.
That's
maybe
what I'm
lays
saying.
them both out and just takes it. Like that's the swerve they could do. So there's a lot of interest in setting up this match. We've got, 3 weeks until that show. So they still have some time to build up to it too. Really interesting.
Question is, do they build that match on SmackDown, or are they gonna have to move over to Raw to start building that match? Like, how do they navigate that whole thing for the next few weeks?
So is the transfer portal open right now? Like, is that what's good with this transfer portal?
Yeah, what's all this shit they're talking about with like they're gonna be like allocating stars to different shows? Like, have you heard that? They said that on commentary on Raw.
It's the transfer portal. Yeah, the stars are allowed to freely like move, and then they can. Yeah, it's like,
bro, college football is changing a lot of things these days, including the WWE now just has a transfer portal.
Here's the thing: I've never been.
Wait, are you telling me a Raw superstar might not be exclusive to Raw?
See, yeah, what I mean. There's some people that are so like dead set where the brands need to be strictly followed, and I'm just like, we all know it's the same thing. Like, why are we pretending?
It's just a content idea, like
exactly. It's literally just like marketing. Like John Cena's on Raw, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. Go watch those guys if you want to see them.
See where they end up.
And the roster split will never matter unless they bring back the real Survivor Series of Raw versus SmackDown. I love War Games, but I think you could separate it. I think you could have one for War Games and then another for Survivor Series. I don't think they need to be
War
combined.
Games was, and I wish War Games was more like as needed basis rather than like it's Survivor Series. Now it's time for a War Games match.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I kind of like it. I like the idea. It kind of spices up Survivor Series.
That's true.
After it's lost the aura of being like a brand wars thing. So I like the War Games. I definitely like it better than like the stupid Raw versus SmackDown elimination matches. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah. But with that being said, this card for Saturday Night Main Event at the Collie, what way to start off the card better than for a new title in the women's division? And Rob is going to love this one because the finals for the United States Women's Championship, we got Mishin versus Chelsea Green. Start with Rob. I think we all know who you're going to pick. But,
how do you know that? Come on. Oh, are you finally reading my brain? Smart man. But, however, this match, the Prophet really relates to Chelsea Green because, Chelsea Green's very underappreciated and she's always right, but everyone likes to call her out being wrong, likes to get a call her Karen whatsoever. But Chelsea Green is really good friends with the Prophet, and it's time for her to get her shine. She's getting that title. There's no more being called Karen. There's no more being underappreciated because she's finally going to get her achievement tonight in the Women's United States Championship.
Wow.
This will be a great balanced match. Mishin will be the top performer, but Chelsea Green will ultimately get the win to become the Women's United States Champion.
Yeah, I think this is the time. We've been talking about Chelsea Green being so deserving of some sort of accolade for a while, and this is the perfect chance. I've come around to the United States and IC title on the women's side here. This is going to be a fun match. Both these women you can make compelling cases for, but it's definitely it's Chelsea's time. So Chelsea Green.
Yeah, I have to agree on all fronts. I think Mishin shows everyone that she can really go, but maybe some Piper Niven shenanigans. Chelsea Green pulls this one out. And if you're Mishin, no worries, honey, because there's another belt you can go get now as well. So all is good in the women's division. We got options. I could pass that, but like Stockton. Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. I'm really excited for this matchup. This should be a banger. Obviously, Drew coming back with the bad blood. You kind of have all of these like haters, I want to say, aligning.
Morally aligning, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a mutual disdain for other people. It's quite interesting. So Drew comes back kind of on the same page as Seth. They got a whole like kerfuffle.
And you know what was interesting? You know what was interesting is Monday night, Sammy and Seth are having like, they're basically like breaking bread and like, we're good, whatever. But Sammy says to him, like, you were sounding like Drew McIntyre. And Seth was like, no. Like, that's not me, whatever. But we know that the Seth part of this is interesting because we know he has that like dark side to him where he could very well be Drew McIntyre-esque. And I'm sure Drew is gonna, the way he's been acting, he attacked Jimmy Uso last night. He's obviously fighting this match with Sammy. So he is aligning. They are morally aligned going after these guys. Kevin Owens as well, more aligned there. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they need to all like gang up as some kind of like group of, like as you said, group of haters of the year or something, and just go after them.
Yeah,
but Seth is very much, the Seth thing is interesting right now because he could very well be like the most dastardly heel in the next 6 months.
Yeah,
it very much seems that way.
It's like a slow cook though.
Yeah,
like they're really letting it like stir the pot because that Sammy interaction on Monday where he was like, yeah, Sammy, we're good, man. Like you can just
and they're building up that friendship now, talking about, oh, we spent 20 years together, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So when Seth fucking takes that chair to Sammy's back next time,
oh man, it's gonna be
a moment, bro.
Cinema
with Kevin standing next to him doing it too.
Did someone say
completely?
Did someone say cinema?
Yeah,
they call this cinema.
I was really hoping you would do that because I was just about to say before you did, Michael Partham's not here, so I can't count on someone to play all the bits.
Yes.
All right, but with that being said, Michael, you gave a great breakdown. This story has a lot of layers to it, and I don't think it'll be going anywhere anytime soon. But what's your prediction for the match?
Drew McIntyre is gonna probably destroy Sami Zayn in like 6 minutes, I think, or something. Because there's
squash.
Because this is a 2-hour card. They have 5 matches, so one has to be short. And Sammy doesn't get hurt by getting destroyed by Drew. Like Sammy, as good as he is like the underdog role, he's just as good as like being as like a seller of guys that trying to make them look dominant and destructive. And Drew needs a win after the Punk the interaction. So I think this is a good chance. Drew coming back from a long layoff, get a dub under his belt, maybe try to do something evil. Jay runs out to save him. Maybe that's when Rollins appears. What side is Rollins on here? Like they could be a little overbooked madness at the end of this too to keep it moving.
This is going to be so overbooked. Jay and Rollins will definitely be there in some capacity. Maniac, what do you think?
Got to give this one to McIntyre. You did the charity gig with Phil. You put him over when clearly nobody else could on the roster, and he couldn't do it for himself clearly. But with that said, Yeah, Drew McIntyre gets the win here. The Scottish psychopath bounces back in a big way.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
The Prophet really relates with CM Punk there. I work with a child down here. He can't ever stop talking shit about Phil. But speaking of Phil,
what about Barmageddon though?
Speaking of that also, I don't want to talk about that right now because I have all the time in the world, unlike how CM Punk had time on that show. But for this match, I think Punk could make an appearance. Supposedly last night he was calling some MMA card thing, and he said he may be on commentary tonight. So if he's going to be on commentary for any match, it's going to be this match, unless it's for the World Heavyweight one. But Punk could make an appearance. We don't know how he plays into this because he's part of the problem. He teamed up with the Bloodline, even though he, it was just for a favor for Heyman. Who knows what's going on there? We're gonna ignore that. That's right now. But I'm going with Drew. But I think this is gonna be a banger, and it could be a mess of a match. Who knows who's gonna show up?
I'm sorry.
Great work, intern.
I was caught up in the Barmageddon. Yeah, I believe Punk is a commentator for Cage Fury Fighting Championships. So that's always a kick. That's always when you get some sneak peek hints. Never forget the way back before Punk was even in AEW, he was on commentary on one of those cards, and someone had made a takedown, and the other commentator was like, and he's returning to the wrestling. Phil, I think you know a little bit about returning to wrestling. And he was like, yeah, you could say this guy's performance is all elite right now. So that was just like one gem that Phil dropped on us even before he was on TV again. But he's back and he's being cut off for Barmageddon. So things are all
that's
well
a great
good.
gem. But can I just make one point about Phil? Because I know I've never talked about him. Is the thing you got to realize, I mean, he's doing exactly what he did in AEW. Come back for a couple of pops, but then he finds another way to just not be working. Like, oh, Saudi Arabia, something crucial to the company's success. I'm out. Oh, like Saturday Night Main Event, bringing it back after 18 years. I don't give a fuck about
where the Islanders used to play.
You talk too much and you don't listen enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad. You see everybody on the roster, like Sami Zayn, everyone giving their all. Drew McIntyre, perfect examples of guys giving 110%. And you just can't help but wonder if the rest of the locker room's feeling like they might not.
I don't know why you keep doubting me, but keep doubting me.
Sorry, Phil.
Jake, were you going to say something?
Yeah. Sorry, Phil. No, nothing to add on Phil. I'm good with Phil.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy will go to Saudi these days. Why won't you go suck a blood money covered?
he was there. Wasn't he there last year?
Sammy was there, I think, the last couple times.
No, wasn't he there like fuck up with Drew? Or
was he though?
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, what?
I thought one of the interferences came in.
The main event of this night supposedly was supposed to be Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed in a steel cage. That is the rumor. That was allegedly supposed to be the main event before Bronson Reed destroyed both his ankles jumping off.
Yeah, well, that also would have been crazy.
It's kind of worth it. I'm not gonna lie.
That would have been crazy if they did that right. That would have been crazy if they did that right after War Games, in my opinion.
I know.
Because he's already doing the spot. Like, what are they going to have him do it again and actually hit the tsunami off the cage?
And destroy Seth Rollins.
Break all of Seth's ribs while he's going on a legendary heel run.
I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but someone said Seth has just been like strategically taking time off with this feud where he's like, nah, Bronson's gonna lay me out with a couple of tsunamis. I'll go home for a month. I'll come back. I'll fight him. He takes me out with another tsunami. I'll be out another month. He could sit till the Rumble. Bronson gets one big tsunami off him. He's gone, but Bronson's not happening. That's about it, though. With the Punk's definitely showing up tonight and yapping about something. There's no way he's
Punk showing up in the house that the Islanders built. That's incredible. Do you think he'll show up in like a Leafs Tavares jersey or something?
That'd be awesome.
My pick, I am gonna go with Drew McIntyre as well. I really don't know what to expect here. This could be a 20-minute banger. It could be short squash, like you said, Jake. But I don't know. I'm expecting big things. I love both these guys, so it's going to be a great match. But I am going to go with Drew, so I think that's another sweep across the board. And this next one
Speaking
we have.
of a squash,
let's get crazy.
some train wreck trivia brought to you by
hey.
Batavia Downs.
Batavia Downs. More, lots more.
Speaking of squashes, we got a guy who knows a thing or two about that. Terry Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, knows a thing about Saturday Night Main Events. So the trivia question is this. How many main events of Saturday Night Main Event did Hulk Hogan main event?
Oh, I have no idea.
Do we get to know how many?
I'll tell you that tonight is the 37th edition.
Oh.
So there have been 36.
20.
I'm gonna say
27.
yeah. I was just about to say 27. So I'll
27.
say 29 to differ myself.
28, right in the middle of those two.
Is that those all final answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you guys are two marks, like 25, which is a ridiculous number.
That's
but,
ridiculous.
But you guys just knew the whole
They're 25 of 37 Hogan's.
Yeah.
main
Oh,
event.
dude. There's the string. I mean, it was basically every one from like. It was insane.
If
And
you
they
watch,
probably did they do these weekly at a point too?
Like every other month. Every other month they were doing
Okay.
them. Yeah, it was like from 1985 until 1990, like /92. He was in the main event of everyone.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about
NBC.
talk about locker room leadership there from Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
But just remember, your numbers always work for you when you go to
I am
Batavia
a
Downs, the
real
region's
man.
premier entertainment destination.
Win more, lots more. It's going to be tough to win for the reigning World Heavyweight Championship because he is up against two other competitors in a triple threat match. Damian Priest and Finn Balor entering the feud. This is crazy. I know we've speculated on this, especially when it got turned into a triple threat. Mike, I'm going to let you take the reins first.
I do. There's 3 title matches on this card. I do think there is going to be title change, at least 1 title change for sure. I might predict 2. I might. I don't know yet. I'm going to work through it. I want to listen to how you guys feel. I need to read the prophet's mind
you have to
steal
you
his,
have to
his,
steal
his
the
take
prophet.
for sure.
Yep.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna work on that too here. With this match though, there's a tweet going around about Triple H's guys, Finn Balor and Kevin Owens with their NXT championships. That's gotten me thinking a lot about this card and having him in this match with Balor and Owens. And so I don't know. They got to do something crazy on in this match or one of these matches. But I think in this match, with it being a triple threat, Priest and Balor probably just take each other out, and Gunther goes into the Rumble as champion. So I'm going to just take Gunther here. I think Gunther walks out of the triple threat with the title. Damian and Finn just like their beef is too strong. They just like keep going after each other, take each other out, and too many times Gunther ends up choking out. Maybe he chokes out Priest even, so Finn can say that it looks stronger there. And we get these guys. They probably don't even fight at the Rumble. Maybe they fight at the next Saturday night's main event, because we do have to think about this show. Like with the Saturday night's main event, you would think WWE wants to put on the strongest first impression, and there's also one next month. So this is going to be a hook to watch the next one. Like I feel like we're going to have some matches come out of this one that lead to the next one directly in its own kind of like universe for the next whatever month while the Royal Rumble build goes on. So I think Priest and Balor can be a big tent pole of that, and I think Gunther being champion just makes too much sense. It doesn't make sense for him to lose yet, so I'm going Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Gunther, as much as Balor was Triple H's guy, I mean, Gunther is like super Triple H's guy for sure. The more recent, he's like the Buzz Lightyear to Triple H's Woody. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, no reason for Gunther to lose the title here. Damian Priest and Finn Balor, this could definitely, yeah, you made a great point, Mike. This could definitely lead to a big blow-off match that's kind of been overdue between these two. And the highlight reel alone on that is going to be cinema. But Gunther definitely retaining here. Gunther, pase de Gunther.
Da-ding and da-da-da. But yeah, I'm kind of over the Priest Balor, the whole Terror Twins versus Judgment Day. They got to officially move on, but I do agree that I think it leads to one more singles match between Priest and Balor at the next main event. So I think I'm going to give Gunther the victory here tonight.
Yeah, I think you guys all said it best. Damian Priest and Finn Balor are going to get too caught up in their own little feud, have a blow-off match at some point. Gunther is one of the most dominant champions we've seen in a very long time. I think they want to keep him that way. And with the Royal Rumble coming up, like you said, definitely want him as your champion going into that, I believe. So, going to have Gunther retain. I thought there could be some different picks on this one, but all got Gunther across the board. Next one though is
Micah was tempted. He admitted it because Micah's becoming a little slut for these dirt sheets and these rumors. And
hold on.
And then you don't need to encourage a Micah to go out and get a little crazy. So that
I'll go a little crazy, but none of my predictions tonight are dirt sheet influenced at all.
I really did think
this is all my fantasy booking.
I really did think he was going to pick.
You had me nervous. You were going to pick Finn Balor to beat like Damian Priest or
Finn Balor doesn't he hasn't barely won any. If they made him world champion, it'd be crazy. Like it's like he should win it at some point, maybe, but he's got to win a bunch of matches. He hasn't won any singles matches really in the last. They don't even defend the tag titles.
The one thing that has carried over from the Vince McMahon era is a non-belief in letting Finn Balor carry a title by himself long term.
Maybe he doesn't want to work. Maybe it's him. Maybe he doesn't want to work that much, and he just wants to be positioned that way.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Mike,
he is on TV every week.
You said it's your fantasy booking, right? Well, here's what I have to say about that.
Brother, you gotta take that fantasy booking shit somewhere.
Hold up. Let me call Punk.
Someone give me some muffins.
That was an answer to a potential Hell in a Cell match with Drew McIntyre. Guess what they fucking did? A Hell in a Cell match.
Get it right. Got to include that whole interview. He said he didn't want the first match to be a Hell in a Cell. He said those have to be built up to one, and it was built up to one.
But the guy was right. He knew a Hell in a Cell match was coming,
but not first. So
he called it childish. He said it was stupid, and then he did it.
Yeah, after building it up like he said he would.
Went against his own words.
No, he didn't.
That's crazy.
He's never done that
whatsoever.
Phil has never gone back on his word. He's never been.
But I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm saying in this instance,
it's so out of character for him.
In this instance, he said he wasn't going to have the first match. The important thing is to
remember, he's really happy right now. He's really happy.
He's really happy. Even though he's not here to make friends, he's very happy.
He built up to it.
So happy.
So happy. Someone that has been happy a lot lately is Liv Morgan with Dirty Dom holding this title. But this match, this is where picks could get interesting, I feel like. I might be proven wrong again. But anyway, I'll let Rob start off. Women's World Championship match. Liv Morgan, Io Sky. I think this match should be sick. So let's see who we all got. Rob, the Prophet, show us the vision.
This one's a difficult one because you can see it going both ways. You obviously know where WrestleMania is heading. It's Liv Morgan versus Rhea. But how do we get there? That is the real question that we have in our hands. Io Sky could have some ramifications as well with the whole switching shows. Could end up with the same show as Bayley again. Who knows? Dakota Kai, I'm pretty sure, is still in the Intercontinental Women's bracket. Could they get 2 titles in Judgment and not Judgment Day in Damage Control? But I think they're going to stick with it. I don't think they want to get too difficult with this one. So we'll keep Liv Morgan, and we know who's taking the title off of Liv Morgan eventually. So we'll keep Liv Morgan here.
Great points, Prophet, as always. What I think will be a common denominator for tonight's events is that the loser will actually end up looking like the better performer in the match, and I think this will be another example of that, where Io Sky will ultimately have a main event performance, but Liv Morgan will retain her title.
Do we think, before I get into my prediction, what are the odds of a cash-in attempt from one Tiffany Stratton in this match? You think 0% chance she's on this show with the Money in the Bank?
Oh, she might show up, but she's not cashing in.
I don't mean her actually cashing in. I mean, even it can be a failed attempt, like her running out and something stupid happened. But does she come into this match with the Money in the Bank at any point? Anybody think so?
I could see it. Yeah. I
it's
think
a
there's
possibility for sure.
I actually do think so a lot because I'll get into it in my prediction, but I think there's going to be a lot of shit that happens during this match.
I think she does. I think she gets involved and it screws Io over and Liv retains because of it. But I do think I agree with you, Maniac. I think Io looks like $1 million on NBC in this match, and she puts up like 40 points and like some crazy performance. Just, like
Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Shit. Yeah. Io's gonna go nuts tonight, and I'm excited to see what happens.
So speaking of the fantasy booking earlier, this was just coming across my head as you guys were all going, but I'm gonna get wild with it. I think they're gonna get wild with this match. I think there's gonna be a lot of people that come ringside. I'm talking Dirty Dom, Rhea Ripley, potentially Tiffany now. Nia Jax might even find her way ringside somehow, and ultimately, we are going to have a new women's world champion in Io Sky. And then there's going to be some tomfoolery after the match with Rhea, Liv, and Io. And how does the number even out to 2v2?
Now we're talking.
Oh,
Charlotte
Flair
comes back.
That would be so obnoxious.
And then you have your next women's world title picture, Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky, and you got the belt back on your girl as soon as you want to.
That would be so obnoxious. I can't even count.
How likely is it that woman walks into WrestleMania with a belt on her shoulder?
Dude, I'd say like 70%. No, 60.
I mean,
or winning the Rumble.
I can't even lie. That was too high.
I think she wins the Rumble and challenges Nia or Tiffy, whoever is the champion at that time. Too. Because I really, like I mentioned, we all know where the title match for whatever brand Rhea Ripley's on is going to be Rhea in it, and she's going to win it back at WrestleMania, and it's most likely going to be against Liv. So I don't know how terrific you can get with you're running out of.
I hope that's done. I hope Rhea wins it at like Saturday Night Main Event or Rumble.
Dude, when you were saying that, Prophet, I feel like you could even do Liv Rhea at WrestleMania without a title if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but you want to get Rhea back. You want. I know they want to give Rhea back.
I agree.
In the last 2 weeks,
I agree, but I'm just saying like how good the feud has been.
I think
necessary.
Here's what I think. I think it might not be a singles feud even, or they're testing the waters because Rhea has had stare downs with Bianca and with Io the last couple weeks, where not like angry stare downs, but like mutual respect stare downs. And they could always just do a triple threat with those three for the title, and that's going to be one of the best matches we've ever seen, like on a women's wrestling match on a WrestleMania card. Like those three in a match would be insane. So I do think, and Bianca needs a dance card at this point. What's up?
Let's fire up some train wreck trivia.
Bavaria down is more, lots more.
We just mentioned Charlotte returning to the Royal Rumble, or before then. She also won the Royal Rumble in 2020. Who did she challenge at WrestleMania?
2020.
4 years ago.
Wait, what was the question?
Who did Charlotte challenge at WrestleMania when she won the Royal Rumble in 2020?
Rhea. It was Rhea.
Oh, it was Rhea Ripley for the NXT title.
Yes. Good call, Rob.
Charlotte then won, which was actually crazy. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Wait, you win the Rumble and then you go for the NXT
It was COVID.
title?
It was the COVID universe. The Thunderdome was so weird, man. It was just.
And it was really their first initial push to like legitimize NXT as a third brand. They knew that NXT was hot, but it was their first real push to make it like equal.
Yeah.
But that was pre-COVID. That was planned.
I mean, it happened. It happened in like January, February. Like it was the ramp up, but it was, you know.
That's crazy.
The worst part is I was watching during that, and it was probably so screwed up to me that I just like tried to forget about it. Like that's crazy.
Never forget that the Big Show came out after the main event of WrestleMania 36 and just challenged Drew McIntyre to a match.
You remember when who was it? It was Gronk that was the host for WrestleMania that year.
That was the same year. It was the same year.
Yeah.
Oh, when Gronk did like the spot at the little balcony thing.
Dude, they came back. I'm pretty sure they came back from the Firefly Funhouse match, and like Gronk was in like the host position. And he was like, "Oh, that was weird." Like, you know, like he didn't know what to say. Like it was just completely like no. He's like, "Oh, that was crazy." Like,
Do you guys
know,
remember
it was
when
fucking
Rick?
hysterical.
You guys remember when Rick Ross was on AEW with Keith Lee in the ring? He's like,
bro,
"You a big
accusations. Are
motherfucker."
you serious?
No, but when he's like, "You a big motherfucker," like on live TV,
Yeah, that's
He was
right.
just like,
He's like,
I mean, you got to bring him
Yeah,
back.
ridiculous.
He could be like the Black Paul Heyman. I feel like.
Who knows? Maybe Rick Ross was doing the numbers for AEW, but yeah. So wait,
No pop.
Yep. Did we get we got the trainer trivia? Okay, good job. Thank you.
Yes,
Win more,
yes,
lots
yes.
more trainer trivia. With that said, are we down to main event time?
Yeah, main event of the main event. Big time.
I'll kick off the picks because
something
it's the
Cody
same thing
Rhodes.
I've been saying all show. Cody Rhodes wins. Kevin Owens is the A+ performer here. Goes over big time. And again, he won't be showing anything new. Like if you watch some Kevin Owens classics, I mean, he's not going to go veer anything away from that. But it's going to be on NBC. I think that's what makes it different. So Kevin Owens, great showing, but Cody Rhodes retains. I don't think we get any shenanigans after the match.
Okay, Rob, Jake.
Well, before Jake can take my pick, you know, it's my boy. You know how I got the name, the Prophet. We're going to stay with it. Cody Rhodes. However, it was difficult. Just once again, Triple H loves his big reigns. Obviously, you could do Kevin Owens now. You can give Cody back at Rumble. I don't really know how that can work out. I think you really got to just keep Cody with it. Kevin Owens can be pissed. He'll start attacking Cody again, maybe go somewhere else. But I think Cody wins, and we didn't talk about it. The Winged Eagle title tonight.
Oh, we were getting there. What you got?
All right. I'm glad that I can do this tonight then, because I think in this match, first of all, if there's one thing I know about Cody Rhodes, loves his trilogies with guys. Loves doing 3 match sets within his rivalries. This is match 2. They had the first match. Kevin couldn't pull the trigger. He had the chance to apron powerbomb him, didn't do it. Had all these chances to take out his friend, wouldn't do it. Kevin a couple weeks ago said, "I hate Cody Rhodes." That's the difference between, like, he pile drived Randy Orton, but he loves Randy. I hate you, Cody. I think Kevin Owens is like NXT vicious level in this match. I think Kevin Owens is going to win this match clean over Cody Rhodes. And I think that is the shock that we get. And we get the 3rd edition of this, maybe in a last man standing, something like that, at Saturday night's main event in San Antonio, Texas. Cody versus Kevin 3. I think we have to do something big on this show. It can't just be paint by the numbers. It's gotta do some shock and awe. Casual fans all know Cody Rhodes. He's on the Today Show. He's everywhere. Like, people know who they are. If Kevin just beats him, pile drives him, whatever, wins the title, that's enough shock going into Netflix, going into the next Saturday night main event. Maybe I'm wrong, and I should just take the long reign and go with the easy pick, but I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going Kevin Owens.
Wow, huge developments. Unfortunately, I do think you're wrong. I think like NBC, how good like they make Cody out to be. Like you said, he's on all these shows. They're about to be on NBC tonight at the Coliseum on Saturday night's main event for the first time in how long. And we have the one-winged eagle. The Golden Eagle belt.
All right, so
like,
I think that's what even the best part why Kevin would win, because
I mean, it would
Cody walking in with that and not being able to walk out with it would be a great sight to see. It's something they could hold over him.
What was the arena that Dusty held that belt up in? Do we know?
That was MSG. And if we're looking at the odds for tonight on Bet Online,
bro, come on.
Kevin Owens is he is an underdog, but he is the smallest underdog here. He's 4-1 to win the title.
Wow.
I ain't worried.
That's the smallest underdog is 4-1.
You know what I have to say about those
lines
odds?
usually are.
You know what I have to say about those odds?
So what?
So what?
Oh wow.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen, I won't be
That's
mad
the
if Cody
insert
just
on that
wins
new
and
clip.
reigns supreme, but I'm picking Kevin. I think.
Wow, he's got
I
the
think it's
so
time.
what into the repertoire.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, so if his dad was holding that up at MSG, I just can't see Cody losing this. Like they're doing it one night only. Triple H is saying, you saw the look on Cody's face. He's not losing this. Cody's coming out of there with that golden eagle belt. I keep saying one-winged eagle, like I'm gonna say
It might only be
like
one
that
wing
one-winged
after
angel.
tonight. If
I just
Cody
want I
loses.
think I just want the one-wing angel to fly again, you know? Is that all like is that
So
too
we
much?
all.
Is that too much to ask, Tony Khan? Whatever. Either way,
I
tonight-
don't think that angel wants to fly. I think he's good flying across the Pacific. I think he's chilling.
Stop, man.
I think he's all
Oh
right.
no.
No, don't say that.
There was a rumor the other day
Classic
that
Micah.
Kenny doesn't watch Dynamite. That was a rumor.
I feel like Kenny just probably doesn't even watch TV. Probably just games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does game. He's a pretty heavy gamer, that's for sure.
No doubt about
Not
it.
enough time for wrestling. Too many games.
I guess. Well, apparently the Japanese wrestling, but not on the American side. Either way, Saturday night main event. Really excited for this return. Retro vibes. What are we most excited for? Shout outs, sign offs before we go, but the X factor tonight. What's going to be the coolest part about the return of this show?
I hope they go all out with like the graphics and the music and like make it have an old school feel. I want Michael Cole and Pat McAfee in like a tuxedo. Like go all out. Like make it feel like a Saturday night's main event. Make it feel different than a regular like PLE or show. Go all out with it. And the main event, Kevin and Cody, no matter how it goes, it's probably going to be one of the best matches in wrestling this year. Like that's how high I feel about this potential match. Those guys are going to want to put on. It's one of the biggest like honestly for both these guys, one of the biggest matches of their career. So I think they're going to put on a hell of a match tonight. I'm very excited for it.
And we're talking retro. I want retro all over. I want like the ring to look retro. I want the retro mics with the wired mics that are like pulled in. I need everything to go all out here.
The Mr. Kennedy mic.
Oh, that'd be great. Bring it down for the.
What's
for
the stage
intros.
going to look like, do we think?
No big stage. It's going to be completely.
Oh yeah, no,
minimalist.
it's just that little tunnel, right?
Just
and
the
then
tunnel,
the big walkway. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. And Jesse Ventura, the body in the building.
So Jesse Ventura and Joe Tessitore are going to be the hosts, and Pat and Michael Cole are going to be on commentary, and then I believe Jesse is joining commentary for Cody and Kevin.
Is Pat confirmed?
Yes. Yeah,
oh
Mac
wow,
was on
okay,
this
that's
show.
huge. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna open the show damn near. While you were struggling with your internet, Micah, I'm saying Triple H loves to.
Triple H is definitely starting this show.
Triple H loves to pop a show with McAfee at the beginning.
NBC.
Yes,
Are you
exactly.
ready?
Are you ready? And then McAfee, like, come
Oh,
on.
I could totally see them doing some D-Generation X like variation, like NBC bullshit for sure.
That would be interesting.
I can't
So
wait.
the
I'm so
thousands in
excited for this.
attendance and the millions watching at home.
And millions. Yeah, millions should be tuning into this. It's gonna be a big event. Make it feel important. Shout out sign offs before we go, boys. Big day ahead.
Big day ahead.
Army Navy's coming up soon.
And
Yeah,
it's-
Oh yeah,
Who's
and
your
show some respect to the Armed Forces Bowl later. So like
Yeah.
you skipped
Also,
over
show
that.
some respect to
What do you
UB
have,
Women's
Hunter?
basketball looking to sweep the New York Slate today.
that is
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It is also a slick Saturday. TKO putting on a day today. UFC's down in Tampa. Stay tuned. We'll have
The
picks
Sabres
later.
are in Washington.
Sabres are in Washington. Underdogs. What a surprise.
What?
All right. Don't depress our poor audience.
Yeah, I hope Mike Bunt's not watching. All right.
Poor Bunt
With that-
Bunt looked so cold the other day. I was like,
Dude, he
Bunt, you
gets-
don't need to do this.
Someone's
cold,
got to
bro.
give him a hug, man.
It was
but,
tough. It was tough.
But either way, going to be a very slick Saturday ahead. UFC, WWE Saturday night main event. But for now, it's not the show where you're wrestling with your conscience. wrestling with your budget. This was Wrestling with Emotion. Let's all have a good night now.
Yeah.